So we've got the introduction in My Hero, some of the weirdest characters, I'd say. I say some of the weirdest, goofiest villains that we're going to be so far. That's because I'd like to say so far from everything that we've seen in My Hero, we've got some very wacky characters, but the villains, like from what we've seen in the most part of this series, have been very serious and always been like, or I hate society, or no, I'm evil, or I have my own ways how I want to handle the world, and this is how I've got to do it, even if it means dirtying my hands. Labrador and Jensel are like, if anything, the first thing I saw when I saw these characters, I was like, look at these fucking Hanna-Barbera, like Dick Dastardly and Muttley, and like, I was thinking like, these Scooby-Doo villains, which actually works very well because of what their entire thing is from what we get to see so far, and actually how terrifying their powers seem to be, and also as well a kind of a little bit of the setup for what is to come with the series and some of its characters as well. So a huge chunk of this chapter was spending time with like Deku and Lemillion going to see Eri. This was a huge thing where it's like they finally get to see her after so long, because this is something that they're like, we've been wanting to do, and she's now finally kind of like fully healed. However, the problem is like you can still see with the horn that it's still there, but it's not the huge giant thing like it was, like comparatively, like from what we saw, like, you know, in the, like originally with her, and especially when like she went with Deku and combined and pretty much like made him able to access 100% full cow. So that was something, and I was like, hey, we're here, we're gonna, you know, see you, this is the first time we've seen you since being hospitalized, and it's like, hey, we got you a little free basket, and like talking about everything, and it's like, basically, like, we understand from this girl and all that, like, how she's like very confused about this whole thing and how people are being nice to her. Obviously, it's not like what she's used to, obviously, with Overhaul. And she's like, I felt really bad because, like, I only knew Lemillion, but I didn't know about you. I didn't know about the man in glasses, and everyone got really hurt about, like, about me. And there's just this real nasty little bit you feel like when she's talking about this. It's like, you guys experience such painful things because of me, and it's just like, she doesn't know. She doesn't know what happened to Night Eye. She didn't know that Night Eye died to like protect her, and it's like, oh, and it's like immediately it's like, you know, like right now, like she's gonna find out eventually what happened to this person, but she, like, it is best not to say it right now. It is too cruel, and she is clearly mentally not strong. She's very fragile, so it's like, you don't want to do that. And Lemillion's like, nah, no one thinks you causing you like them painful things. Everyone's thinking like, oh, it's great that Eri's saved. Like, that's like the great thing they think about. It's like, yeah, we think of the happy things, and it's like, oh, you really do not want to think about all those dark moments. And one moment that kind of got me in this chapter was she tried to smile and like forced herself and tried to move her face, and then she went to them and it's like, how do you smile again? And it's like, we didn't save this kid. Sure, we took her away from Overhaul, but it's a nice thing they addressed where it's like, just because you technically saved them doesn't mean you like completely reversed their life. You've completely healed everything around them. Like, she's been traumatized for years because of this, like, because of the Overhaul. I mean, regardless of what I say, I know I say things about, like, the Overhaul arc, and I know personally isn't my favorite, but it is left an overlasting, like arc to, like, everything. I mean, it's personally the ending of this, of that arc made me want to get back into talking about academia again, and especially, like, you know, it definitely has its highs and it has its lows as well for me, but definitely it, like, I think Eri came out of, like, that arc the strongest because it was the main grasp of it, and it gave a nice, like, tugging point for Lemillion, Deku, and everyone else in that, like, arc. It was a great little thing to see, and they said, hey, come to the Culture Festival, this is the thing that you want to see, and it's like, this might actually find her to break her, like, her away from her shell. She might be able to actually fully develop as a character. And then we get to the second part of the story, which is the robbery, which we do get to see the character Jensel, who is a very weird ball character from what we get to see first thing of him, where he's like, you know, put the money in the bag. Oh, but only in this certain amount. Can you put it in like a couple of 1,000 yen stacks? That'd be great. You know, he's like generally like kind of nice about it. It's like, you're kind of being nice to me and kind of being kind of like a gentleman about it as you're robbing me, and then the two like heroes come up and say, stop what you're doing, and then he immediately just like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna kill anyone though, from where he just seemingly just puts them down, like, out in a, like, a position, because we see, like, this, he's talking about saying, like, La Brother, like, put down this cut down, and it's like just warping space, and it looks actually really creepy, and it's just like, yeah, no, we're gonna have to cut it right here, we've got to do this. And this is the person that we saw from last week that is clearly being like on YouTube and like clearly talking, so which we get to see like them talking about this with the character, and it's like very weird, intricate designs. I actually thought like, but the one thing it's all that like Labrada and like General look really goddamn, they stand out a lot, like comparing to like the other villains. Like I said, like fucking General looks like a fucking Scooby-Doo villain. He looks like that, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that's like just how like old-timey, like kind of like comic booky kind of style that he's going for, like really kind of like 70s kind of villains look like. And it's like, I like that though. I think it makes him look unique when we compare him to characters like Stain, when we compare him to Overhaul, like, and that's the thing when you compare him to like other villains from other series, and it's like, let's look at these two fucking weirdos and see what they've got. And like, it's just overall, it's just like they're there because of like social media. They're there because it's like, oh, we're here for views, and clearly like we don't know their whole thing is like why they want attention, why do they want like all of this, and it's like they're talking about we need to do greater exploits, we need to do more things, and like literally like as they end the fucking chapter, he like pours the tea like into his cup and just splashes it all around in front of her face, and it's hilarious. And it's like we need to do something more extreme, more extraordinary, as it just blows in her face, and it's like, that's the ending of the chapter. And it's just like, it was funny and it was weird, and I actually want to see more of these characters because they intrigue me. And it's not, and the thing is, like, in the long run, it's like, are these guys going to be very serious villains? We don't know. Like, maybe they might have some stuff to them, the reasons why they're doing this, but so far, strong impression of them so far. I find them hilarious, and I think they will make a very interesting turn. But they could be boring, they could be just like, oh, that's all they do, so I have to wait and see in the future. Overall, I'm very curious to see what you guys think in the comment section down below, but that's all from me. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys, though, next time.